My gosh, what an NBA season we're having. LeBron's out here breaking records. You got players casually putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers. There has to be something we don't know about. They got the Like Mike kicks on mass production out here, am I right? Like, yo, everyone out here looking like a lethal shooter.
Just set up there, Ja Morant looking.
Not quite what I meant, but we gotta talk about this. So if you guys haven't heard, Ja Morant's been going stupid on and off the court. Everything was cool at first though, you know, he was just a 6'2" guard, bit of a chip on his shoulder, yet he won Rookie of the Year and everyone loved him. He was a 6'2" guard, casually hopping over centers like it was nothing. In high school, most of us that were 6'2" ended up playing fucking center. Needless to say, those 6'2" centers didn't make it to the NBA, because it turns out that you can't be 6'2" posting up Joel Embiid. You spent the whole high school posting up and going for rebounds, and now you forgot to be a fucking guard, and then you don't make it to the NBA. So to see someone like Ja Morant make it to the NBA was a breath of fresh air, and thus people loved him. Then he starts getting comfortable, talking a little bit more shit. Alright, you know, we're still down for it. Always nothing wrong with a little shit talk every now and then. Then he starts wearing shit like this. Once again, I could get behind it, you know, a little bit of rapper inspo, ain't nothing wrong with that. Pretty sure Moneybagg Yo actually made a song named after him, like, you know, showing a little bit of love to the rap game, you know, I'm always down for that. Then he tweets one day that it's free to see how hollows feel. Harry Potter fan, you know, Deathly Hallows, you know, everyone loves Harry Potter, you know. I'm sure he's just a fan of fucking Harry Potter too. Then, you know, it comes out that he, oh my god, flashes a gun and beats the shit out of a 17-year-old at a pickup basketball game. Self-defense? Yeah. Then his friend puts a red laser on the Grizzlies staff. What could I say for this one? You know, lasers are fun. I mean, you could grab one, point it at people, it's gets in their eyes, they flash it away, you know, used to play with cats. Maybe he was trying to get some cat. Y'all got it. People are eating him alive for this. They out here crucifying this man on social media, saying he's a good kid, pulling up pictures of him from when he went to Bulworth Academy. They even went and found this man's old Instagram. Or they better love Ja. The media is upset with him for conducting himself this way for a few reasons. The first one being that the NBA cares deeply about their image. They don't even let most players trash talk nowadays. So to have someone running around with guns and lasers beating up kids, not actually how I view him by the way, it's just the way the NBA probably does. It definitely shines a not so positive light onto the NBA, which they definitely don't like. The second reason is, well, people don't feel like he's really about that life. And I'm not here to tell you whether he is or isn't, because realistically I don't know the man. I done seen people that look like this, and they would not hesitate to take away someone's life. What I will say is that as a professional athlete, I feel like any altercation you may or may not get into should go something like,
you saw him? He attacked me.
But the main reason the media is so mad at him for these things, it's kinda simple really. He's an NBA All-Star and a generational talent that is guaranteed $40 million in 4 years. Not to compare myself to Ja Morant or anything, but I suck at basketball. I was an All-Star water boy who struggles to make $40 a month, and I actually grew up in the hood. And I still wouldn't jeopardize anything that I have right now to portray any image that could potentially get me in trouble, or realistically, Swiss cheese. And it's not even like he's a rapper or in some sort of profession that could potentially benefit from him portraying himself like this. Cause in things like hip hop, this image sells. But he's an NBA player. All you gotta do to get paid is just show up, be good at what you do, clock out. You don't even need a personality really. We literally have robot NBA players. But yet you're suspended for 8 games and got Jalen Rose interviewing you R. Kelly style as if you're some sort of criminal. And Jalen Rose, I'm not gonna lie, you're bugging. How you gonna ask the man whose gun was that? Like, I get that they're portraying that he's not like that, but even the fattest dickheads know not to snitch on themselves or their friends like that. The real crime here is Jalen Rose telling men that they need to spend $100 on their haircuts. I only pay about $20 for mine, and oh god, I got the best hair on YouTube. Ladies in the comments, me or Jalen Rose? And I'm gonna delete the Jalen Rose comments, by the way. But Overall, I think this whole situation brings a huge question to the table. Is the thug image worth it? But before we do that, we need to acknowledge what a thug is. According to the all-seeing eye Google, a thug is a violent, aggressive person, especially one who is a criminal. So my perception of what the thug image would be is someone who unnaturally goes out of their way to make people perceive them this way. So yeah, 90% of people that talk shit on the internet. This might consist of things like showing guns, cursing at people, threatening people, dressing like what you think a thug would typically wear, listening to more than 5 seconds of NBA Youngboy. And I'm gonna address both sides of the spectrum, because as much as we like to downplay this image, there has to be something intriguing about it enough to the point where an NBA player is willing to throw away so much just to paint himself in this light. Now I will say this, there is a degree of respect that comes from people when they think that you're a dangerous person. Granted, not respect from actual thugs, they'll slap the shit out of you, but yes, this is true. Now, I personally don't vouch for nor do I condone gaining respect through fear. I just feel like it hinders the potential for forming genuine bonds and relationships. But I also acknowledge that some people want what they want and they don't really care about forming genuine bonds or relationships. Game is game. Just hope that one day you don't run into the wrong person who reveals who you really are. Because once the foundation of why people respect you is gone, the respect is also gone. The next reason that someone would fall into this is actually pretty simple. Doing bad things is fun. It's literally human nature. It's fun to do things that we're not supposed to do. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Shout out Eddie Guerrero. Because it's fun. The dopamine rush you get from almost getting caught doing something but just barely escaping. It's very easy to fall into it. And even if you're not trying to portray yourself as a thug, this is simply an aspect of day-to-day life. You think Ja Morant had such a big smile on his face when he flashed that gun because he likes guns? No, he knew he was doing something risky. And it feels good. People portraying a thug image just take this a step further and make it a part of their lives. And ultimately, guys, being perceived in this light is going to bring you a lot of attention. We all hear the phrase all the time, oh, negativity sells. That's not a coincidence. You do bad things, people start watching you. You develop a reputation for being dangerous, people become interested in you. It's way more simple than a lot of people make it seem. But actually doing dangerous things poses too many risks, so why not just develop the image and leave it at that? But for the moment of truth, no, I do not feel like the thug image or even the lifestyle is worth it. And let's take it a little deeper, guys. The irony in all this is that the thug street lifestyle is probably one of the only lifestyles that is glorified, where the people that are really a part of it will sit there and tell you it is not worth it. I wish I could get out of it, and if I had an option, I would take any other route. And yet people still feel the need to be a part of it somehow. Even the wealthy people that complain about their lives still wouldn't switch positions with a poor or even a middle class person. POV.
Being rich is like cool or whatever, but like it just my mental health. Like honestly, being rich is like so hard because you just don't have time for yourself, and my parents don't make time for me, and it's just I just can't do it. Like
Damn, Sasha, like I know where you're coming from. Like I understand, I know how it is to go through everything that you're going through, but I have to ask the question, if you had the opportunity to switch lives with me, right? Because I'm doing mentally fine right now. I've honestly never been better. But I make $20 a month. Would you do it?
don't get me wrong, like I know I'm going through a lot mentally, but at least I can still buy whatever I want. Like as long as I go through that, like I'm honestly gonna be fine. But I'm still going to spend like $50,000 on therapy anyway, even though my only therapy is retail therapy for real.
Also, guys, history really tends to repeat itself. And history has shown us time and time again that being in the streets and being the epicenter of attention does not mix. Not to say that you can't be from that past and get famous, but if it does happen, you're gonna have to pick one, man. I'm sorry. One person who understood this was Chief Keef. A lot of people try to bash him for separating himself from that scene, but there is a reason why he's one of the only rappers from that Chicago scene that is alive and has his freedom. Time and time And time again have we seen people fall victim to trying to mix two lifestyles that were never meant to be together. And guess what? It fails every time. As fake as the thug image is, it derives from something real. And that is people that were a part of this lifestyle because they had no other choice. And the last thing those people wanted was attention, because they knew what could potentially come with having attention on them when they were murdering people. Allegedly, might I add. So to reiterate, no, the thug image is not worth it. So don't be like a Ja Morant, guys. Be like a Jordan Poole or a Kawhi Leonard. Or just don't play fucking basketball.